What is up, my peeps? It is Mary Beth Eversole, the Allergy actress, and it is Paleo month. So of course I'm going to make a cake, Paleo carrot cake. Actually, Paleo birthday carrot cake to be exact, because my birthday was just a few days ago. So let's get to the ingredients. Okay, so for cake, obviously there are two components, cake and frosting. So I will start with the cake ingredients, okay? Typically with a carrot cake, you would have a regular flour. Obviously with Paleo, you can't do that because they are grain-free. So we are using coconut flour instead, 3/4 cups to be exact. And here's the deal, if you can't find coconut flour in a store, although it is becoming more common, you can always get shredded coconut, and then you can use a food processor or a blender to kind of finely shred it even further until it's like a powdery substance like this. Just don't over blend, because then you get like coconut paste. So, and then along with that, you're gonna combine it with arrowroot starch, also 3/4 cup. Arrowroot starch is a typical starch. It helps things bind together, and yeah, that's all you got for that. Okay, and then you have the spices. Ooh, lots of spices in carrot cake. So we have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I always have to do that. It's so good. It's like, and it's so good for you. If you don't know about cinnamon yet and how good it is for you, go watch all my other episodes, because we talk about it like every time. Just really good, like antioxidants and all of that. So, and then we get the nutmeg, and this is gonna be only 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then you get 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom as well. And then you are going to do your baking soda, not to be confused with baking powder. Baking soda is the one that like you stick in your fridge or your freezer and it keeps it fresh, or you put it in your toothpaste, and that's not your deodorant, all of that stuff. Baking soda is like, you can use it as a cleaning agent, but you can also put it in baking. And you just want, for the baking soda, you're gonna have about 1 teaspoon, not about, you're gonna have exactly 1 teaspoon for baking soda. And then you're gonna have your baking powder, which, as you all know, I'm allergic to corn. So I have to use a baking powder that does not have cornstarch in it. There's really one brand that I know of that doesn't. It uses tapioca starch instead, and you can see in the comments below, or you can contact me, and I will tell you what brand it is. But you're gonna use 2 teaspoons of the baking powder that is corn-free, also aluminum-free it is. And then you're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I know this looks like more than 1/2 teaspoon, but it's not. It's just a very small container that it's in. This is that pink Himalayan salt that I like to use. And lots of minerals, just so good for you. You also, in Paleo, use a lot of eggs. And guess what? This is not gonna let us down. We're gonna use 8 full eggs in this recipe. That is the yolks and the whites and everything all in, except for the shell. So yeah. Lots of eggs, that's typical Paleo. And then you're gonna use 1/2 cup of coconut oil. Now, you also have another ingredient where you use a tablespoon of orange zest, but I didn't have an orange zest today, so I decided to use one of my essential oils, wild orange, and it was equivalent of like 1 drop of wild orange. And because it's fat soluble, you want to mix it with one of your fats. So I put it in the coconut oil, and you do 1/2 cup of liquid coconut oil. So fractionated coconut oil, or coconut oil that is heated and melted, okay? And then you put your orange drop in it, or you zest your orange. And then we have honey. Now here, I've talked about honey before. Local honey is the way to go. Farmer's market, local honey. It's great because it's fantastic for allergies, especially airborne allergies. Now, you do have to regularly eat the honey for it to really work very, very well. But I mean, why not use honey as your sweetener instead of white sugar? It's much better for you. And it's just got so many wonderful qualities to help your immune system as well. So this is 2/3 cup of local, wonderful, this is wildflower honey. And then you're going to do applesauce. We have 1/4 cup of applesauce. I get natural organic applesauce. If you can make your own, do that. But if you get it from the store, try to get the applesauce that doesn't have sugar in it. It's just straight up apples, okay? because you don't need any extra sugar. And besides, paleo can't use extra sugar like that. That's why the applesauce is there. And then you want to use your grated ginger or ground ginger. So you would use a tablespoon of fresh grated ginger, but I am choosing to use ground ginger because I didn't want to take the time to grate the ginger. So if you do that, it's not equal ratio. So this is 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, or you can use 1 tablespoon of fresh grated ginger in your cake. And then you're going to do a tablespoon of vanilla. And oh, you guys, I never get tired of that smell. I love vanilla, so nostalgic for me. You're gonna do a tablespoon of this. Make sure it's gluten-free if you have to be gluten-free. You can check on the label. You'll see it's there. And then you're going to do apple cider vinegar, not to be confused with applesauce. The apple cider vinegar smells very vinegary, like Easter eggs. For that, you're gonna do just a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And then of course it's a carrot cake. Carrots, everybody. You can get them already shredded from the store, or you can grate them yourself. You want 2 cups of shredded carrots. And then I do not do nuts because I am allergic to walnuts. That's usually what goes in the carrot cake. So instead, I do the other item that's usually put in there, which is raisins. And I just kind of use more raisins than it calls for. So it usually, in a typical cake, you would use like half walnuts, half raisins. I'm using a cup of raisins instead of walnuts. Now be careful because raisins have a little bit of a juicy quality to them, so you don't want to. You want to make sure you don't overcook your cake because they'll burst and then it'll become a very wet cake. Okay, so that is the cake. Now we have the frosting. So with the frosting, you're gonna get 2 cups of cashews. Here's what you have to do with the cashews. You have to soak them overnight. Get raw cashews, put them in a bowl of water. You don't have to cover them, just leave them out on your countertop and soak them overnight. And then drain them in the morning and voila, you have your 2 cups of soaked cashews. This is what makes that really nice, smooth texture for frosting or cashew cheese or any of that. If you don't soak your cashews, you're gonna have really rough frosting. Okay, so then you also are going to need coconut milk. And for the coconut milk, it's 1/2 cup. And I also put in lemons, the lemon essential oil instead of regular lemon juice. Now you would normally use 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice. I didn't have that, so I decided to use the essential oil lemon. And you use 5 to 6 drops of that. So, and remember, it's fat soluble, so you have to mix it with your fat. So I put it with the coconut milk, mix it together, it's ready to go. And then we have our maple syrup. And I believe it is, I'm going to check, you guys, sorry. I think it's 5 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon of pure maple syrup. And I was off with my count for the coconut milk, so I'm going to go back to it for a second. It's actually not a cup, it is 4 tablespoons of coconut milk. Sorry about that. And then, again, you can't have good frosting without good vanilla. So it's 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, make sure it's gluten-free. And then for this particular cake, you're gonna just have a little bit of Himalayan pink salt and you sprinkle it on top of the frosting and voila, you're done. So let's go and make this cake. Okay guys, along with preheating your oven to 350 degrees for this cake, you are gonna need to get 2 8-inch rounds, and you're gonna need to dust them with arrowroot starch, and then you need to put parchment paper in the bottom because there's so many eggs in this cake that it will stick to your pan if you don't do that. So that's what you need. It is time to make the cake! Woo! Okay. That's a really high note, you guys. Okay, so we are gonna do the eggs. Remember all those eggs I told you about? All of them go in here. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know that I've ever cooked with that many eggs. Paleo is awesome. Okay, and then we're gonna do the coconut oil. Now remember, I put the orange in the coconut oil. If you don't do that, you do wanna put the coconut oil in and put the orange zest in. So there's that. And then, oh, That was really loud. Okay, and then you're gonna do honey, honey, honey. Honey, honey, honey. Okay. Could use a little bit more of the other stuff that song goes with. That was the oven, you guys. It was telling me that it was ready. I'm like, what was that? Oh, it was the oven. Okay. There goes that. Bing. Oh, the honey, it made it like a soft landing. Okay. And then we have the ginger, vanilla, apple cider vinegar. I'm sorry, I'm looking because there's so many ingredients for this one. I can't remember all of it. So, the ginger, vanilla, and the apple cider vinegar. So there goes the apple cider vinegar. Boom. There goes the vanilla. Boom. And remember, you can use fresh ginger if you want. I am using dry ginger. So, boom. There it goes. Boom. And now, you know what's coming. Oh, you know what's coming. All right. Maybe not that fast. Don't do what I just did. Don't turn it on high until it's gonna mix together, or else it'll go. All right. And you just want to get this together until it's well mixed. Don't overbeat the eggs. There's a lot of them, remember. So that actually looks pretty decent. Awesome. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and do the wet ingredients as well. I just said wet ingredients. We're going to go ahead and do the dry ingredients as well. And grab yourself a bowl. And then you want to do the coconut flour, which is this one. Remember, you can make it from shredded coconut if you need to. That's 3/4 of a cup. And then you're going to do the arrowroot starch. Ba-bow. Do not do what you do with the cacao powder. Don't go pew, because it will go pew, like that. I did that once. It was fun. You should go see it. It's my campaign video for my Indiegogo account. So, and then spices. All of the spices at this point go in. So we've got our cardamom. Boom. We have our nutmeg. Boom. We have our cinnamon. Always have to smell it before it goes in. Yum, 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 yum. Okay. And then, excuse me, we need to do the baking soda. Where are you, baking soda? Here we go. Baking soda, remember, is the one that goes in the fridge. It's the one that you can clean with and cook with and brush your teeth with. And then we have the corn-free baking powder in there also. And where's my salt? Pa-pow! And, oh, guess what? If you have ingredients left over, that means that you forgot something. The applesauce goes in the wet ingredients. And that's where it's going. Aren't you guys glad that I'm doing wet and dry at the same time? This is a goofy episode, y'all. I'm really having fun. Okay, I'm gonna mix this applesauce in a little bit. But then again, when am I not goofy? I'm pretty goofy all the time. Okay, so then you want to mix your dry ingredients until they're just mixed. So mix them until they're just mixed. I'm mixing until it's just mixed. It's gonna kind of develop a little bit of a tannish hue because of that cinnamon and because of the cardamom and the nutmeg. And we're mixing and mixing. You really want to make sure that your flour and your starch are well combined. So do mix until it really does look like, okay, I don't see any more white in here, because that would be your starch. If you see large clumps of white, keep mixing, because you really don't want a starchy cake, I promise you that. Okay, so once you have those things combined, all you should have left for your cake are the carrots and the raisins, okay? If you have other things left over ingredients-wise, because there's so many ingredients, look at your recipe again and put them where they need to go before you combine the wet and the dry. So now that we have this all fantastic, we have to let the, or actually, I'm sorry, we're gonna combine these and then we have to let it sit for like 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm gonna show you how we combine. Always combine your dry into your wet and do it slowly. So like, I would do like half of this. And then I would stir it, because if you do the whole thing, again, you're gonna get that whole poofing action and it's not really attractive on your face when that happens. So we're gonna do this, slowly speed it up as it gets more mixed in. I can't help myself. Okay. And then do it again. Dump it in. Ba-boom. And again, start slow. Mix it in. And when it looks like it's starting to combine, it's gonna get thicker. And then you can turn it up and turn it up and turn it up. Blah! This one I'm gonna have to scrape the sides down. My little flour stuff just stuck to the sides. Pa-pow. So it is a cake batter. So you're gonna have, it shouldn't be like crazy, crazy thick. It will be cake batter thick. It also is a little bit bubbly, and that's okay. Air bubbles, you will tap the cake pan to get the air bubbles out, and that's how you will do that. So mix that until it's very well mixed. That was easy. It's very well mixed. We're going to go another 2 to 3 minutes just letting this sit, and then we will put in the carrots and the raisins. Do that just by hand, just stir it in, and then we'll put them in the pie pans, the cake pans, and then we will put it in the oven, and then we'll make the frosting, and then we will eat it. Okay, here comes my husband's favorite part, the frosting. So we are making cashew cream frosting, paleo friendly. So again, we have our soaked overnight cashews. That's 2 cups. You're gonna dump them in your food processor. And you can use a blender, but a food processor is just better for this because the cashews tend to need a little bit more force, you know, or high power blender is even better. And then you are going to dump in your maple syrup, and that's all tasty and yummy and sugary. And then we have our coconut milk, and remember this is 4 tablespoons, and I have put the lemon essential oil in there. If you don't do the lemon essential oil, you will do coconut milk 4 tablespoons, and then you will do 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. And that is ba-bow. And then, of course, the vanilla. I always have to smell it, I just have to. And then your salt, boom. And then you want to put this on, and then we dance. Ha! And then we go boom. Let's see. It's getting there, it's getting there. I need a scraper. Let's see here. I think I can grab a scraper out of here. So scrape down the sides just a little bit. If you need to. Spatula's better, but spoon was close, so we're going with a spoon. Also, it's good to scrape it down about halfway through because sometimes you get these cashew chunks that are up top that didn't get down to the blades. And so you just do that, okay? And let's do it again. Okay, we're gonna keep doing this, and then we'll get the cake and we'll frost it. Let me say that again. We'll keep doing this, and then we will get the cake out and we will frost it, and you will get to see what it looks like on the flip side. Bye. You guys, it's my favorite part. Now, doesn't this look like a restaurant quality cake? I mean, seriously, it's time to eat this stuff. And actually, wait a minute, before I eat it, speaking of restaurants, I just want to shout out to the Allergy Eats app. They're amazing. You can put in all your allergens on their app, and it will tell you all the restaurants around you that are safe for you to eat at. Shout out to Allergy Eats. Now let's eat this, shall we? Happy birthday to me, peeps. bit frosting on the muffin. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna eat this entire piece. Yeah, that is so good. You can taste everything. And I love that the essential oils are coming out. I would highly recommend you use essential oils in place of the lemon and the orange. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Hey guys, until next time, this is allergy actress Mary Beth Eversole, signing off for now.